Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to another episode of Boot to the Face, powered by FullPressCoverage.com. Go there for all your sporting wants and needs, where I am sure they will have wall-to-wall coverage on this year's Super Bowl, featuring the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs.
But the fighting Taylor Swift, and I love it.
Oh yeah, I'm loving everybody hating on them because it just shows how miserable people are. Like, is it really that? And everybody's trying to justify, I watch football to watch football. I don't tune in to see a fucking celebrity. Shut the fuck up. Because they show everybody's family members or significant others, and they barely show that girl. You just don't like her. Just say you don't like her. Don't try to hide it and mask it with, I watch football to watch football.
Yeah.
Fucking dorks.
It's just people bitching just to bitch.
Just miserable.
You see Brock Purdy's dad in the crowd all the time.
Right.
You see Jerry, even though Jerry Jones is the owner, they show him all the time, but he's not a football player. So why aren't y'all complaining when they show them? They show her, like, I think they did the math, and they showed her like a total of like 25 seconds out of a 3-hour football game. So
That's too much.
It's too much, man.
What's funny is, like, anytime a big play is made or anytime a touchdown is scored, anything like that, what's the first thing they do? They pan to the fucking crowd. So you're still seeing random people. You just don't like the fact that you're seeing Taylor Swift. Like, it makes no sense. Like, is that really affecting your football watching?
It's not, and that's why I love it. I like the taste, the tears of crybaby fans.
Yeah.
Suffer.
Well, EJ, I would talk about the Super Bowl, but honestly, I don't give a fuck. And we ain't got time for it. We got so much to talk about in the world of professional wrestling, starting with last week, the day after we recorded. News broke of more details coming out about Vince McMahon being just a fucking
nasty man,
power-hungry pervert, as you like to say, allegedly.
Gotta throw that in there.
And then they had the Royal Rumble, and Triple H dodged all the questions. Well, there's only 3 of them that he got, and said, I just want to focus on the positives. I don't want to talk about the negatives. Other people were not named in it, but it was hinted at who these people were. We're not going to call any names because we don't fucking know, but the internet's running wild with it, saying who they think it is. And supposedly there's people on the WWE crew, people in management that has something to do with this woman. Like, it's deeper than Vince. I mean, it starts with Vince, though, because, you know, he's the fucking boss. But what do you think about this whole situation, and is it going to affect anything?
I don't think it will short term. I don't know what the implications are in the long run. Short term, it almost did affect them because Slim Jim, they pulled out until Vince McMahon resigned, and then they got back in the game. So, I mean, if more things start to come out, it could affect their bottom line. It could affect sponsors. This might be a bigger deal than people are making it to be so far.
Yeah. I mean, there's people that still work there that were probably involved in this kind of shit, you know? Some people probably in power. Some people that we might know, you know? You never know who's going to come out and be involved in all this shit. So it's, on one hand, it's like, I'm interested to see, like, who was all fucking up behind the scenes. But then on the other hand, it's like, there's real people that got affected by this shit, you know, like
Mhm.
people that were getting taken advantage of, people that were getting, you know, he was basically using his power to keep motherfuckers employed and then paying them off, thinking that that's okay. Like it's that shit goes deep. Like I was reading some of the stuff and I was just like, God damn,
Yeah,
you
and
fucking weirdo.
who knows? All the other people that it happened to that haven't spoken out or afraid to come out or took the hush money and stayed away. Like you said, it's deep, and like you said, there's a lot of speculation behind some of the names that haven't been revealed. But two names that we know have for sure been revealed. Mr. Laurinaitis was like a defendant in it, and one Mr. Brock Lesnar, who was absent at this year's Royal Rumble. So, what are your thoughts on those two, at least?
Was Brock named in it or was it
Yeah,
assumed?
former UFC champion that they were trying to sign another contract.
Mm.
You think it was Matt Riddle? I doubt it. This is champion too. Matt Riddle wasn't a champion in
Could have been
UFC.
Ronda Rousey.
Okay, Ronda
I'm
Rousey.
joking.
Yeah,
It's not Ronda. Ronda actually tweeted like
yeah.
she tweeted about Bruce Pritchard being there, saying
Being
if he's there, Vince is still fucking running shit.
the
So
Avatar. Yeah, I saw that. But
good for
yeah,
her.
Brock and John Laurinaitis.
Well, Brock definitely affected WrestleMania plans and Royal Rumble plans, which we'll get into later. But you know, it's doesn't surprise me. Like, does anything surprise you anymore when it comes to like people with a shitload of money being in a weird shit?
No, not really, but I guess it depends who it was. Like if you told me like Stevie Wonder was doing some stuff, and I'm like, man, not Stevie.
He couldn't see what he was doing.
But like, yeah, if you told me like Brock Lesnar or Vince, and like, it's not surprising, but still, like you said, some of those details were just despicable. Like, we're not going. I
Yeah,
guess we won't get too deep in the weeds, but I do got to point some
yeah.
of them out.
We don't need to
The,
talk about
the,
like the
the,
nasty
the
shit.
defecation. Come on, that's just like, are you a
Who
human being?
does that?
Huh?
Who does that?
Apparently, Vince McMahon, and then them holding her down and like that's like when you got that money, you don't just see human beings as people. You just see them as like
Property.
personal, yeah, your property, your personal playground, which is disgusting. And
Yeah.
didn't when he initially got kicked out in 2022, she was like unnamed at that point, and this is finally coming out because I guess the lawsuit is how the legal system works. It takes a while.
I honestly can't remember all the steps that are in it, but he shouldn't have been allowed to come back in the first place. Like he kind of bullied his way back in, but he shouldn't have been allowed to come back.
Yeah,
But one thing that I did read was like people, that know this Ari guy that owns TKO, like if you don't know him, he don't give a fuck about like personal relationships and all that. If you're going to affect his money, you got to go. And as you saw, Slim Jim was like, yeah, we might have to pause this. Next thing you know, Vince was resigned and they were right back in it. So if anybody else is involved, Laurinaitis and Brock and people like that, like I wouldn't expect to see them sticking around too much longer.
yeah, and before we get into that a little bit more, if anyone doesn't know, I don't know if you watch Entourage. Ari Manuel is based off of, well, Ari Gold, the character, his agent on Entourage is based off of real life Ariel Manuel. And
Oh,
if you,
really?
yeah, so if you watch that show, you know how cutthroat Ari Gold was, hilarious character. But they say it's kind of similar to his real life personality because this Mark Wahlberg's agent in real life. That's the other guy. Vince is supposed to be Mark Wahlberg.
Is that where he got all his money from? Being
Uh,
a sports agent or
yeah,
whatever?
yeah, being a entertainment agent, and then he moved up the ranks and built an empire.
Mm, that's cool.
But yeah, what like if you're Brock Lesnar, first of all, we're not gonna get too far into the moral part of it. This man got a wife, so he had trouble at home with Rena.
Does he? I don't even know if they're not married
Are they not
anymore.
married anymore? Oh, I thought
I
they
don't
were.
think I read like a couple years ago that they weren't, and he was like dating his high school sweetheart or some shit like
Oh
that.
wow, shows how much
I
I know.
I thought that's what I read. I
You might,
could be wrong, but I
you might
thought
be right. I haven't really kept up with
yeah,
them. Like, yeah,
yeah.
I haven't really kept up with them.
Talk
Well,
about who's in trouble. Old fucking Laurinaitis with Nikki and Brie Bella's mama.
are they really together, or is she his beard? Like that always seemed like a weird situation. Like it kind of happened out of nowhere.
I still remember running into him at in New York at I don't remember what restaurant it was. It was underneath it was the restaurant at the Marriott bar. We went over there just to grab some food because we were staying the next door. Turns out that's where the wrestlers stayed at in Times Square. And guys sitting there like all spread out. And I remember we were at tabletops and they got ready to sit us next to him. I didn't even look at him. I just saw he was fucking spread out. And I didn't want to sit next to him because my stool would have been like right by his leg. My ex lady, I'm like, can I sit, at a different table? And she sat us at another table, and I look over there, and I'm like, I'll be John Brown. That's fucking Johnny Ace over there. That's a big motherfucker in real life. And he had that fucking voice talking like this.
Like he'd smoke 12
Yeah.
packs a day.
And my ex, first thing she said was, where the Bella twins at? Because she had been watching Total Bellas. I'm thinking, shit, I wish they were here too, especially Nikki. But
like I have like no type of connection with John Laurinaitis because when he was like doing his on-screen character, that was the period I wasn't watching. So like I have no familiarity with like, his on-screen stuff like that. Besides like random, like, when cause I still got on my IPTV, I still got the WWE channel. Sometimes I'll do random Raw throwbacks and I'll see some random stuff with him on. I'll take a glimpse. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is not good.
People power. He's famous for the Ace Crusher. I can't remember if the Ace Crusher was the Diamond Cutter or the Stone Cold Stunner. One of them, he was trying to take credit for, saying that he came up with the move first, but I can't remember which one it was. But he was doing the Ace Crusher. But I never knew him as a wrestler. I didn't know who he was until he was on screen those years ago. Like, but regardless, he's allegedly a piece of shit. So
yeah, that's just a whole messed up situation. Like I said, this is far from over. We're gonna start to see some stuff unravel, and also I want to throw this in there. We all know that AEW has its shortcomings, but I don't want to hear from WWE fans the way Triple H were dodging those questions because people are always bitching about how Tony dodges questions.
Oh yeah,
Triple H was dodging questions.
I will say at least Triple H wasn't wearing a fucking wig and sunglasses in the middle of it.
Yeah, Tony didn't read the room in that one, but it's all like legal jargon. So both companies are gonna want to protect, themselves legally. So it is what it is. It didn't bother me that Tony was dodging the questions because WWE do the same thing when it comes to stuff like that. So
I find it funny that like people online are getting all in the uproar. Like, you guys are at the press conference. It's your job to ask them the tough questions. That's a bunch of fucking podcasters in there. Like, shut the fuck up. These motherfuckers, there's a couple like legit journalist people in there. But for the most part, they all just started a podcast in their basement, got popular, and applied for the fucking press pass. Nobody went to journalism school and shit like that. They're not there to talk about it. They're there to talk about like, what's happening for WrestleMania and shit. Like, most of them are probably worried that they'll get their fucking credentials pulled.
Denise from Busted Open.
I'm sorry. I don't like talking mean about people on the record, but I just don't like listening to her.
I'll be nice. I just won't say anything.
I figured I was nice. That's all I said. I just don't like listening to her.
I'm just saying. I'll just leave it at that because who knows?
I gotta find more shit to listen to. I've canceled my Sirius XM.
Oh,
I canceled my Patreon.
Oh, no more CNR?
No, and it's like it's not football season anymore, so I got no Cowboys podcast. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing at work now. I'm just kind of fucking just skating along. I'm about to start calling people now. If you get a phone call in the middle of the day from E.J., pick up. I need somebody to talk to.
Well, so much for getting that rich interview for not Busted, Blue to the Face, talking throwback wrestling.
Why? You're still subscribed, right?
True.
I mean, what do I got to do with it?
It's still hope.
I don't listen, and I don't really listen as much as I used to. I don't enjoy it as much as I used to, so why pay for it?
True. There you go. It's a bunch of free wrestling podcasts I could put you on, especially in the
I need some black wrestling podcasts.
Oh yeah. So a bunch of extra too.
Public Enemy's back.
Oh yeah, they're back. So that one, you got Generation of Wrestling. They're good.
See, I never even heard of some of them. Yeah, you got to send me a bunch of them. And I knew every one of them you sent me. These motherfuckers need to start listening to ours too.
Oh yeah, this 2024 should be a big year for us. We gotta start collabing with some of these guys. We gotta stick together, man.
I ain't mad at it. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
But you know what would be a bombshell? If Triple H was with some dirt coming up on him, that would suck, man.
I didn't want to say like any names, but that was the first thing I was thinking about when I was like, it's going to be interesting, just because like, yeah, like I'm not gonna say any names about who. We'll see. We're gonna play the waiting game and see if anybody else comes out, but it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. Well, you feel for the victims, so hopefully they do everything they need to heal and they get your money. I mean, definitely they should get the money for the damages that they suffered. And hopefully that'll be the end of it. Hopefully this really is a new era. Because like you said, Vince shouldn't have came back. And was early 2023. He bullied his way back in there. And he probably did that on purpose because he knew this new stuff would eventually come back. So he's like, let me get in there, let me sell it. But he was trying to linger in there because even when he got back, I heard he was trying to pull strings. So I don't know what his intentions were when he bullied his way back in.
Yeah. All right, enough about perverts. Let's get to AEW. Sting and Darby Allin are going for the AEW World Tag Team titles a week from tomorrow night. They will go up against Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Chances are they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you why I like it. And I'll tell you why I don't like it. I like it because now it puts into doubt who's going to win Sting's final match. I don't like it because I feel like he's one of those people that's like, I'm just going to go out with a loss. Sting doesn't need to lose his last match. He's been way too giving in his entire career. Sting needs to win. I don't care if they got to have a tournament. Tony Khan loves tournaments. Have a fucking tournament for the titles. I'm going to Greensboro to see Sting's last match. I ain't going to see the Young Bucks win. I don't want to hear that. Oh, well, he'll do an interview after the match and send everybody home. Fuck that. I want to see a Scorpion Death Drop and a 1, 2, 3, or I want to see a Scorpion Deathlock and somebody fucking tapping out for Sting's last match.
Man, I'm kind of with you on that one. But I don't like it at all. I mean, it'd be cool to see Sting because I think, like you said, they're gonna win the tag team belts, have a title on his way out. But the reason I hate it is because we know most likely the Bucks are gonna win those titles on the way out. Because, like you said, Sting's an old school guy. He wants to probably go out on his back, which is unfortunate. It's like you said, we want to see Sting win on his way out. And the only silver lining is if the Young Bucks win the belts is now that these rankings are coming back out, maybe they'll get back on track and kind of heat the tag team vision up. Because as good as Ricky Starks is, especially as a singles guy, and how much we love him, him and Big Bill, they don't really seem like a real tag team like that.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of chemistry together.
Yeah.
Not in the ring, but just like on screen together. They just look like a really odd couple.
Yeah, it looks odd. So if the Bucks do get the belt, they can start, like you said, like I said, those rankings are coming back out, and hopefully somebody will get the belts off of them. Maybe you'll get Top Flight, Private Party. They're back in the mix. Let some young blood get in there, man.
You were gonna say Young Bucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say Young Bucks.
Sting needs to keep it, and then they can do a tournament and let somebody run through the tournament, just like they did the first time with SCU.
I would love that, but I don't see like I said again, Sting is an old school guy. That I would love a tournament though. Let's do that.
All right. We'll get into the rankings in a second, but I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Greensboro, March the 3rd. Sting's last match. Do I paint my face?
I say yeah, but I feel like you gotta have a wig or something.
Why I need a wig? I just gotta put the face paint on.
You got
I need a wig for? I ain't white.
I had when I went to Sting for Halloween, I had the wig on and everything. I was 10 at the time, but still.
I had an afro when I was Sting. for Halloween.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
I feel like you should do a test run, put the paint on in the mirror, see how it looks.
I gotta get some good paint. I'm not doing the crow sting either. I'm doing fucking surfer sting paint.
Oh, yeah, I think that'll work even without a wig because he didn't have like he had the short buzz cut when he had
Yeah.
yeah.
So I had a Royal Rumble party on Saturday, and my buddy Joey's going with me, and he was just standing there. And he just goes, "We painting our face," and I was like, "It's funny you should ask," because I was literally thinking about it that day. Like, I think I'm gonna have to shave my beard down to a goatee so I could get the paint to come all the way down or whatever. But yeah, I think the face paint's gonna be on. I know we ain't gonna be the only ones, but fuck everybody else.
It's like it's a little surreal that he's retiring, but if you think about it though, like man, he is old. I guess it
Yeah.
is about time for him to retire, but still, like
It's been time. I'm excited I get to see it. A lot of stuff like this doesn't happen for me where it lines up where I can see stuff like this. So I'm excited. I thought I was watching Mickey James' last match, but she kept wrestling. So I'm done chasing that last match. When she has it, she has it. But for Sting's last match to be announced and me to be able to go and sit, 4 rows back, like I think that's gonna be fun.
yeah, for sure. I know why they're doing it, but man, Darby versus Sting in a one-on-one match, man, that would have been. I think that would have been good, man. But I don't think he could go. He's
There's
65.
15,000 people are gonna be there. And it leads me to believe that not only are we going to get Sting's last match, not only are we going to get a world title match with Joe and either Swerve or Hangman or all three, not only are we going to get Tony Storm and probably Deonna Purrazzo, I think they're saving the debut for Mercedes until they get in a 15,000 seat stadium. Instead of letting her come out with 1,500 people, she's going to come out in front of 15,000 and make it seem like she's a bigger deal.
That would be interesting. To your point, they did a good job at World's End. They had a good crowd out there. Like you said, they're gonna have a good crowd for Revolution. Sting had to help with that. Seems like they've been doing well. They had a good crowd at Revolution for pay-per-views. It's just the weekly TV. Like I said,
Yeah.
I think it's because they have Collision and Dynamite was hurting them.
Oh, yeah, it's getting watered down.
So you think that they could carry this momentum from the Revolution into Double or Nothing in Vegas? Because last year I heard Vegas had like 8,000 or less or something crazy that was pretty low.
So this year I wanted to go to Double or Nothing in Vegas, but I won't be. I'll be going to Vegas for something else at a different time, and I'm going to Revolution. But have you looked up ticket prices for Vegas itself during that weekend? Like, it's a holiday weekend. Airplane tickets are high as giraffe pussy. Hotels high as giraffe pussy. Like, I can see why it's the first time they did it. People were like, I don't give a fuck how much it costs. Like, I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
And the second time it was like, well, I didn't go last year. I'm going. And the third time it's like, shit, I'll just wait till they come to my town now. Like, they're coming around. Tickets are cheaper, like the first couple times it was a novelty, but I think they might need to do it on a different weekend because a holiday weekend, like Vegas just raises everything on weekends like that. Vegas, honestly, I don't think Vegas is a good place for a wrestling event like that every year.
Yeah, unless they're gonna start moving it to the smaller venue like the Michelob Ultra, like holds like 5,000. But I get the theme because it's Double or Nothing casinos, but I think they need to start moving it around because they had to do it in Jacksonville that year because of the pandemic. But man, maybe you need to go to Atlantic City and start moving this thing around and make them miss you.
Go to Biloxi.
Yeah, dude. I
don't know if they got any arenas, but Biloxi's known for gambling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the in the southeast, Biloxi's where you go.
Oh, yeah, do it. Go there. Start moving it around. I mean, I feel like Tony is a creature of habit. He keeps hitting some of these markets too many times.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I'm excited for Sting's last match, and I say you go for the face paint.
I will. Sticking with AEW, the rankings come back this week. Honestly, I didn't even realize when they left. I didn't know they were officially gone. I just thought they had so much other shit going on, they quit. Because they still keep people's record, like they'll still show the record and shit like that. But I hope they do it right this time, you know? Give me a ranking for the world title and then give me a ranking for the TNT title. Give me a ranking for the women's title and then give me a ranking for the TBS title and then give me a tag team ranking, you know? Don't do top 10, do top 5 for all of them. Cuz 10's too many.
You don't want trios ranking?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Give me the rankings for all the titles, but don't just have top 10 and then everybody's just in there. Give me the top 5 for the world title and then give me the top 5 for the TNT title.
And
You
if
know?
if you go back and look at the last ones they did, that's what they were doing towards the end. I want to say they cut it down to top 5 and they had it separated by belts.
Yeah.
But the last time they put them out was like 2022. I think right around Brawl Out was the last time they had them out. I don't know why they quit doing it because, like you said, they've been keeping track of the records this whole time. And yeah, I mean, when the company was first founded, it was founded off of being like sports oriented and have that sports feel. And bringing back the rankings will definitely give that vibe again. I just hope they stick to it. I think Tony was butthurt about the Jinder Mahal thing. He's like, you know what? I'm bringing back these rankings.
He just put more on his plate if nobody's helping him.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, but initially, how do you think they set it up like this first go round with the rankings though?
I just think they're gonna fucking debut it. Like these are the top 5 or top 10 or whatever. And then people that are in the rankings are wrestling. I think Moxley's wrestling Jeff Hardy or some shit like that they've announced.
All right. Well, let's play a little fun game off the cuff. Name your top 5 women's world title. Yeah, you would put top 5 and then your top 5 men's real quick.
Deanna Purrazzo,
Uh-huh.
Statlander,
Okay. Uh-huh.
Sky Blue.
Ooh, and the world title, huh? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Um, Thunder Rosa
Okay. Returning Thunder.
and Serena Deeb.
That's solid. We'll talk about her a little bit later on the show. A little spoiler alert. That's your women's. What about your men's top 5?
Well, men will go Swerve,
Uh-huh.
Hangman,
Uh-huh.
Moxley,
Uh-huh.
Hobbs.
Ooh, that's a wild card.
Yeah, yeah. And Danielson.
Okay. So that's solid though. So my top 5 for women's would be definitely Deanna Peraza. Uh I put even though she's a TBS champion, I'll put Julia Hart at number 2.
See, that's what I'm saying. You can't. I wouldn't even have her ranked as number 2. I'd have her
Okay. Well,
in
yeah.
her own division.
So yeah, so disqualify her. This is showing how much how kind of like all over the place the women's division is. You got Peraza up there. I'll put Sheeta, Carl Sheeta at number 2.
I thought about that, but she hadn't wrestled in a while.
My number 3. So can I do ROH too? Okay, or are they gonna have their own rankings?
They probably. I don't even think they count in the rankings. I think they're their own company.
So I can't use Athena then. Damn. I'll put I guess Sky Blue at number 3. And then number 4, I'll put Thunder Rosa. Number 5, I'll put Anna Jay at number 5 for my woman.
See, I was gonna put Anna Jay, but I was thinking like Anna Jay, Red Velvet, kind of Sky Blue also, but I got her in the other top 5. Mariah May, people like that would be in the top 5 for the TBS title.
Okay. It's then, man. I hope Mercedes does come. I mean, signs point that might be the direction. I guess we'll talk about that once we talk about the Rumble, but they need a jolt. And for my men's, I would go Swerve, Hangman, Moxley. Let me think about my number 4. My number 4 would be Hook, even though he just lost to Samoa Joe, but I'm not gonna knock him down that much, even though he doesn't look like world heavyweight title winner. He's got to bulk
No,
up some. He got to bulk up some to
he's a
kill.
TNT guy to me.
Yeah, but I'll put him at number 4, and then number 5, I'll throw another wild card in there since you had Hobbs in yours. It's kind of a wild card. I put Takeshita in my number 5.
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't even think that's a wild card.
Yeah.
I think he would deserve to be there.
I like Takeshita. I like how they have like almost like their homegrown Japanese guy.
Yeah.
They treat him.
I don't know how homegrown he is. I think he was
He
a
was
star before he came over.
he was in DDT, but he was in New Japan. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he was in New Japan.
Hmm.
So I mean, they treated him really strongly, and now he's kind of tailoring off a little bit with the Don Callis is kind of cooling down a little bit, but once he is on TV, I think he's facing Jericho soon. He could go, man.
Yeah. AEW has an issue with that, man. They'll get somebody over and they'll just, before you know it, you don't hear from them, or they cool down, or they just don't stay on it like you should.
Well, there's no excuse now. Even though I hated the Continental Crown Championship, you got 3 mid-card belts. You should be able to keep a lot of these guys hot. Now you got 3 mid-card belts.
Yeah. Well, since we're on rankings, EJ, let's get to the power rankings.
Let's get it, man. I like jotted some down like right before we got on this show. So I think I went first last week.
I'm ready. Power rankings this week for the week of January 28th here on Boot to the Face. My number 5, surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble, TNA Knockouts champion and defeated Trinity on Thursday on Impact, Miss Jordynne Grace.
Got to add and your favorite women's wrestler in there.
She ain't bad.
Oh, now you like her. Now she popped up at WWE. She popped up at the feds, and
see, don't do that, because that's not, you putting words in my mouth now. But yeah, I told you when I was in Vegas and I saw her wrestle, and when I saw her and Mickie James wrestle here in Atlanta, like, she's come a long way. Like, she's a lot better than she was like a year and a half, 2 years ago, which, you're supposed to get better. But she held her own, man, in the Rumble. Like, she didn't look out of place. She's fucking throwing motherfuckers around. Her and Bianca had a couple good things. Her elimination was dope. Yeah, I got nothing to complain about with Jordynne Grace.
I was legitimately surprised. I'm like, what are these sirens? Like, who got Big Papa Pump back?
See, in our party, when the sirens went off, everybody was like, Braun's coming out. And then they were like, no, that's Scott Steiner's music. And as soon as my buddy said Scott Steiner, I was like, no fucking way. Like, it happened that fast. I was like, it's Jordynne Grace. And then one of my other buddies doesn't watch it much. She's like, why the fuck is she like Scott Steiner? And I said, because she's Big Mama Pump.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it her name? Big Mama Pump, or
the Juggernaut?
Yeah. But she was going off Scott Steiner's like moniker for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was Big Mama Pump or Little Mama Pump or something like that. And Scott Steiner actually came with I don't know what's his name. He's a little guy. They had the little headdress things on, and Jordynne Grace was a part of their little team.
Wasn't it Petey Williams?
Yeah. And Jordynne Grace was a part of their little team, and that's where she got the nickname from.
Didn't they have like a second run, like when they were like the early Impact days? I don't think I was watching at the time where he came back. Maybe that's why I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Jordynne Grace. So with that being said, is the Forbidden Door officially open with WWE, or you think that was a one-off? You think you might see a little bit more of this now that Vince is completely out?
Well, from what I read, TNA and WWE are probably going to have a working relationship together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Jordynne Grace, if you read her tweet or Instagram post or whatever, she said this will not be the last WWE Universe sees of TNA. Like, that was in her post. So, and I wouldn't be mad if every Rumble WWE worked with other companies and just let people from other, like, give me 5, 6, 7 wrestlers from other, even AEW, if they ever like quit the bullshit between one another, you know, New Japan, TNA, they're not gonna win, right? But it's the Royal Rumble. Like we're trying to go to WrestleMania. Like this shit is so big, everybody's fucking coming in.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen TNA and AEW, they were doing it weekly, that their Forbidden Door. You think Tony will be salty and close that relationship down?
That relationship's been closed.
Kinda. You
I haven't
had
seen anybody from TNA on AEW in a while.
you had well, I guess technically not, but Osprey was just on there.
He still had a contract with TNA that they were getting worked out though.
And then early it was I guess it was early 2023. If they have done it, it's been quietly because Kazarian was going back and forth until he just finally just signed full time to
Yeah.
TNA Impact. But Kazarian was going back and forth still. So maybe they quietly ended it.
I
But
don't think it was that quiet. I think TNA didn't like the way your boy Tony was doing them, you know? Kind of same with New Japan almost to an extent. Like all your guys are always winning and we're getting the short end of the stick. Like this is only helping you out.
that's
At least
true.
that's the vibe I got. But what male wrestler could have came over and gotten the Royal Rumble from TNA though? Like, I think TNA's women's division is way better than men's division. Like, who are they gonna send? Dolph Ziggler? Like, we see this motherfucker in the Royal Rumble all the time.
That would have been weak.
Yeah,
Definitely Josh Alexander. Some people are saying Moose, but I have never read the full extent of his controversy, so I guess you couldn't do it if he's got a controversial past with Moose.
yeah,
But Josh Alexander would be the safe pick.
yeah. But people know Jordan Grace because she's Jordan Grace, right?
Do
Like,
they though? Do like the casual
I
WWE
mean,
fan?
did you not hear the fucking crowd when she came out there?
I think that was a product of them being in Florida, close to Orlando, and that was TNA's stomping around.
I don't think Josh Alexander would have got that reaction.
I don't know. In Florida, maybe. Maybe. I'm not saying he would. But who else on the men's roster?
That's what I'm saying. I can't think of anybody
Mm,
besides old WWE people.
yeah, I would say Dreamer, Bully Ray, of course. But those, like you said, those are old WWE people. I'm trying to think of something. I think maybe I think, yeah, if you use their Motor City theme songs, I think you could roll out one of those guys. Everybody know the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, but everybody know they ain't gonna win either.
Yeah, if you said Motor, people would have popped for that.
Seidel, you couldn't do him because he was already in WWE's Evan Bourne. Nobody gave a shit.
He's in AEW.
Seidel is?
Yeah, he was just wrestling on the St. Louis show I was on. I was at.
I thought he was TNA.
Nah,
Damn,
oh
my
man.
bad. We definitely ain't going then.
Exactly. He's a jobber at AEW. Exactly. You just proved my point how he's used there.
Yeah. Oh, it's Tatum Paxley. I've been trying to figure out who this witch girl is obsessed with Lyra, and I
Yeah,
didn't know who
and
she was.
you've brought like the first time she was rolled out, you brought her up, and the way you describe her, I couldn't think of it. But yeah, that's Tatum Paxley. She used to be a
Yeah.
Diamond Mine with Ivy,
Yeah.
NXT.
Just black ass lipstick on right now. That's weird. Let's see. Where we at? You did your number 5?
I have not. We went kind of off on a tangent with that surprise with Jordan Grace. My number 5, she made her return to wrestling. She's been out for like a year and some change.
Mm.
Serena Deeb got a big win on Collision, and she cut probably the best promo I heard her cut. I was feeling it, man. I'm like, go ahead, Serena. I even
Yeah.
mentioned in the Discord. So she's definitely another piece that they really need to get some organization. Like you said, I'm hoping these rankings will have a little bit more organization and you know uh, like a pecking order in the division, and because they need it. But I got Serena Deeb at number 5. My number 4 is still your WWE United States champion, Mr. Logan Paul.
Damn.
Got a win over Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble, which we'll get into later. And that now You're on your number 3.
No, I'm on my number 4.
Oh yeah, you're number 4. My bad. I can't count today.
My number 4, still your Intercontinental Champion, the Ring General, Gunther. Great match with Kofi last night. I'm digging the New Day's little more aggressive side they got going on. I think they need to do that some more, but I'm also like, why do you keep getting junked if Big E ain't coming back?
He said, I haven't heard directly. I always hear from podcasts talking about it. So this is like from a third party. It said that he said his neck is fine, but it's still risky because of that kind of injury. So
Yeah. Just don't put him in the ring with that motherfucker from Sheamus's crew again. Yeah. So that's my only question about the New Day is they keep getting jumped by a trio, but they don't have a third person in theirs. My number 3, two-time Royal Rumble winner, Mr. Cody Rhodes.
The American Nightmare.
And remind me that when we talk about CM Punk's injury later, I have a question about this. I don't want to forget it. Go ahead.
Make a mental note of that. Your number 3, that was Cody. My number 3 is still your reigning, defending WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. Went at the Royal Rumble, smashed him. He didn't stack him, but I think he should have.
Mm-hmm.
But he got the win with more interference from your boy Solo, but we'll probably get into that once we actually talk about the Royal Rumble. Number 2 is your women's Royal Rumble winner, first-time winner, Miss Bayley, leader of Damage Control.
Also my number 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bayley.
Oh, so I'm curious what your number 1 is.
My number 1, and still WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, almost 1,400 days now, just chugging along, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
And, somebody's saying let's go, so that must be good news for my Gamecocks. Oh, that's they AP25 been dogging my Gamecocks basketball team. We beat UK and we should have been ranked. We only got 3 losses on the year. We were ranked like 26, but it looks like they about to pull it over Tennessee. So that's what's up. But I digress.
They'll make the tournament. It doesn't matter.
I digress. My number 1 was your number 3, I think. Cody Rhodes, your men's Royal Rumble winner. And we'll see who he challenges. They've been kind of teasing it, and we'll probably talk about that because I don't think I like what I saw last night. But
let's get into that now. Seth Rollins comes out. You know, Cody's clearly about to challenge Roman, and Seth comes out and cuts what I thought was a good promo because at the point where people were booing at first, but by the time he got done with it, I think people were excited to see it. And honestly, kayfabe wise, Cody should fight Seth. He's beat the motherfucker 4 times already. Like, clearly he knows how to beat him. You want a world title? Go fight Seth.
But hold up. Ain't that like a heel move? I beat this dude 3 times. Let me go beat him again.
That ain't a heel move. Babyfaces, we act like babyfaces can't be smart. Well, we gotta have a dumbass babyface, stubborn ass babyface. Like, I can't beat this nigga at all. Let me go fight him again and his whole family. You know good and hell well you're gonna have to fight Roman, Solo, Jimmy, Ricky, Bobby, Ronnie, Mike, all of them. If you fight Seth, you just gotta fight Seth, and you done already beat him. Be a smart babyface, Cody. Because you know what? We sick of this goddamn story. Finish it already.
But he's a white meat, all-American babyface. He come out, Seth, I beat you 3 times. I'm gonna beat your ass again.
He ain't got to say it like that, but I mean, he can know it. Like, you know what happened the last 3 times we fought, Seth. You sure this what you want? Seth, like, hell yeah, that's what I want. So we'll tie all this in together. The reason behind Seth coming out and asking that is because he basically doesn't have anybody to fight. Brock not being there threw a wrench in the plan. Punk got hurt, so that threw a wrench in the plan. Punk got hurt, a good bit into the match. He was only in the match for 20 minutes. You think there's a chance that maybe Punk was supposed to win? And he let them know, like, I'm fucking hurt. Like, pick somebody else. Because I would imagine that I've never thought about this before today, but I would imagine going into a Royal Rumble, you have to have like 2 or 3 winners lined up in case something happens.
Yeah, in case their feet accidentally hit or something like that.
So I'm wondering if Cody was the backup plan when he got hurt, and now they're just kind of going along with it. Now they're trying to see if The Rock's going to be available for Roman, but they went from a week ago, everything lining up and it looking so good. I take that back 2 weeks ago because Seth got hurt also. Like he was going to force his way to go have a match. It's like all this shit's hitting the fan at once right before WrestleMania, and it's kind of throwing a wrench in it. And not that I like people getting hurt or that I like all the allegations and stuff taking people out. I do like the unpredictability of it now that we don't know what the fuck's going to happen with the card for WrestleMania.
We like it in the moment until we come to WrestleMania, and if the card is ass cheeks, then we were like, what the fuck they doing?
I mean, it ain't going to be no worse than WrestleMania in Atlanta.
That was weeks ago, in the words
Years
of
ago.
Rick James. In
Yeah.
the words of Rick James. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to have unpredictability, but I don't know if the plan was that because he got hurt, they were gonna do a pivot. Because even if you're gonna do a pivot, if the plan was for Punk to win, and because they knew Rocky was coming back, then I think they would stick with the plan and then pivot and do something. Somebody take his spot somehow in a tournament or something like that. I think the plan was for Cody to win, and I don't think because I think they don't have The Rock, and I think they have this happened before they saw the Punk injury happen. And I told you this back in August. I told you it was gonna be Cody at WrestleMania. The Rock thing kind of threw me off a little bit, but I'm like, I see this from a mile away. It's gonna be Cody.
I mean, you and everybody else said this shit though, and I saw it too, but I just didn't like. I don't like it. It doesn't make storyline sense. Cody's got nothing to do with Roman anymore. He has a title on his brand now. Why are you still worried about Roman? Because he's a dumbass babyface.
Yeah.
I tried to give him some brains, and you said, well, if he was smart, he'd be a heel.
Well, true. But before like the Rock kind of threw us off the scent because we still don't know if he's coming back. My thing is that if you have The Rock, then fuck your story, Cody. You will do WrestleMania 41. But if you don't have it, I just saw this as the path because I mean, storyline wise, you say it doesn't make sense, but it kind of makes sense to me. He didn't win at 39. He finally finishes the story at 40. There you have it. I thought this would be the WrestleMania. 40 is like a landmark WrestleMania. I thought 40 would be the time.
That's why you make sure The Rock can be there because it's 40.
I thought he was gonna be there, but who knows? Like you said, it's the unpredictability, but maybe that's a good thing.
It ain't over. I mean, it ain't. Cody still got to make a decision.
And what I don't want to see is, but I guess if The Rock were to come in, it would be a possibility. I don't want to see a triple threat match, and I don't want to see Roman do 2 nights, the title on one night and the tribal chief title the other night. I think that's whack to me.
You don't have to worry about either one of those. I think we're getting Seth and Cody, Roman and Rock.
Not sure about it. It could happen, but if it does happen, I definitely think that's a pivot off of the Punk injury because Punk was scheduled for Elimination Chamber, and I think he's going to win that to get to Seth. So if you have Cody face Seth, I definitely think that's a pivot. And
yeah, but I think Cody was probably going to fight somebody else.
Okay, if he was supposed to, I mean, they have options. It could have been Randy, but
yeah, I think it might have been Cody and Randy, Rock and Roman, Seth and Punk.
Well, if he does face Punk uh at WrestleMania, I don't want to see Cody win that belt. I could care less if he wins that belt.
Well, he ain't gonna beat Roman Reigns. So everybody that wants him to fight Roman Reigns, you're basically saying I want Cody to lose at WrestleMania because that's what's gonna happen.
If he faced Roman Reigns this year and no Rock in the equation, why can't he beat him this year?
The Rock got to get the SummerSlam. The Rock Roman's got to get the SummerSlam.
For for that meaningless Hulk getting Hogan's record off of?
What's more meaningless, him breaking Hogan's record or Cody winning the belt? Because
I think
Cody's chasing it now, but the money's in the chase. As soon as you get him the belt, he's gonna cool the fuck off.
I think I don't know about that. People still like Cody. I think just him getting the belt at Mania, like from what we know Mania to be, it's always been about the baby face conquering at the end of it, holding the belt up, and this is the guy you want to be the face of your franchise, baby face wise. But as much as I don't like Terry Bollea, I mean, if Roman beats that record, it's still Bruno. That's 8 years, which probably won't happen. I mean, it
And like
could.
we talked about last week, in the WrestleMania era, Roman's got the longest reign.
Yeah, we see it because we're diehard wrestling fans, like that modern day era. But like, if you're just a casual watching, you're like Bruno still got it.
You know
Casual.
who? I mean, you know who ought to. You know what should happen? Cody should beat Seth at WrestleMania, and as he's celebrating, Damian Priest should cash in on him.
I would like that. I mean, I would kind of like it because technically he's still a former champion, but for him to like come out the next day and like I finished the story with that belt, that'd be whack. But if he lost it instantly, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah, now he's got a whole new fucking story.
I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to eventually take the belt off Roman, even if it's not Cody. I mean, he could retire with it, but I feel like that'd be lame.
Now you got Gunther without a dance partner because Brock ain't there, and I know all the signs are pointing to Jimmy and Jay fighting each other at WrestleMania. What a great open that was for. We were sitting here talking at my party, and I said, it's gonna be weird seeing Jay come out and not be able to do his little hand signal thing to the crowd. And my buddy goes, unless he's coming out number one. And Jay comes out number one just so he could do his little thing. And somebody else in the party goes, well, what if Jimmy's number two? And the next thing you know, here comes Jimmy. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers are Nostradamus around here. But I wouldn't mind seeing Jay be the one to beat Gunther. Also, shout out to Jay for that spear he's got. That shit looks good.
Who's got a better spear, him or Braun Breaker?
Breaker. I want to say Jay just because Jay's my guy, but Breaker look like he trying to cut him off because Breaker hits the ropes like they said they timed him at like 23 and a half miles per hour hitting the ropes.
How do they even time something like that?
The same way they time motherfuckers running in the NFL.
I don't see people up against the ring with the little the clock and gun.
You don't see people during the game either doing that. Like they got that next gen stats or whatever.
No, maybe I'm oblivious, but
you never seen that? Like they'll tell you like every week of the NFL season, they'll tell you who got clocked as the fastest person to run while they had the ball that week. It's usually Tyreek Hill.
I didn't know like they had WWE because they have those things around the arena like the measuring thing. Like maybe I don't pay attention. I guess they have that at WWE too with the technology around the arena, just measuring it. But yeah, like you said, was it Jay with the spear?
Mm-hmm. He speared your boy. What's his name? Big dude. Little short, stocky motherfucker.
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed. Yeah, they had a good match last night. I had a tweet drafted up about to complain that Jay just lost to Bronson Reed because I was like, this motherfucker, he's got his little promos going now. They about to push him, and they just sacrificed Jay for. Maybe they're heating Jay up for a reason. I don't know. I think it's gonna be Jay and Jimmy, but I wouldn't mind Jay and Gunther.
You want him to beat Gunther for the IC?
Why not? Gunther's got to lose eventually.
I want Jay to skip the IC belt and go for the world title.
Nah, you gotta. It's like old school. Good Lord. Lola Vice and Electra Lopez are fighting.
I thought she was a main roster now. Maybe it's a goodwill, a goodbye, farewell.
Yeah, they had a match booked already. Lola
I,
Vice is Lola Vice is thicker than Electra Lopez. I didn't know that.
you sure about? I mean,
You'll see it. She is. um, let's talk about the women for WrestleMania. Um, there's a lot going on with the women, and this is why Bailey won Royal Rumble. This is why I didn't want Bailey to win, because now with Jade there, you have the possibility of Jade versus Bianca. You got the possibility of Becky versus Rhea if that happens. Both of those to me are bigger matches than Bailey versus Io. And I know everybody's like, "Oh, well, the story, the story." Yeah, fuck the story. Like Bailey and Io's not a WrestleMania match. I'm sorry. I like Bailey. I love Io, but that's not a WrestleMania match. So now you have the problem of having too many women stars like to get on the show. Are you gonna have Bailey versus Io, Rhea versus Becky, Bianca versus Jade, perhaps? Then you still got the Kabuki Warriors that'll have to defend the tag titles more than likely at Mania. Like you have a lot going on with the women, but to me, the winner of the Royal Rumble and whoever she picks, that's going to be the third most important women's match that weekend.
I think the match is big enough for Mania. I said it when we were making our predictions, and when I predicted Bailey, I'm not mad at it. It's not gonna main event, but I still think it could be a curtain jerker on one of those nights because you got to spread them out. I mean, is it too many? I mean, I don't think it's that many women. You could do the both of the world titles, and you could do the tag team, do like a turmoil where you have more than one tag team in there, which they'll most likely do. I don't see them doing like a straight up 2-on-2 match with that. And then you could also, I don't, it's not that much of a hot take, but I don't think you do Jade and Bianca right away. Build that up for a year or so. You don't have
I mean, you
to,
could, but it's also WrestleMania. Like, what is Bianca doing?
yeah, figure out something for her to
I
do.
mean, and you can't have Becky like Becky took a year off last year at WrestleMania doing that stupid shit with Trish and Lita. So now she's looking at it like it's my turn. Rhea's looking at it like shit. I've only had one turn. Bianca, she's had two title matches in a row, so maybe it's time for her to kind of take a back seat. But now her back seat is Jade, and Charlotte's not there. Imagine if Charlotte was there throwing her shit in it too. Like the women are fucking. They got some, and then you got Naomi coming back. Surely
Mm,
she's got to have some kind of match there, right?
maybe do some type of tag team match with Naomi, Jade, Bianca, and somebody else. But I feel like you could build up to that one-on-one, have the title, have Jade go for a while so that she could go some, and then like that could main event in WrestleMania. I feel like they shouldn't blow their load with that one. Sure, the visual will be nice, but then the bell rings, and then what? We
I
don't
don't
know what
think
Jade could do.
I don't think they need a title. And I mean, you saw with Jake, she was good in that Rumble. She was a lot better in the Rumble than she was in AEW.
That's Rumble. You can mask a lot of stuff.
Also, I'll say this: her last match against Chris Statlander, she was pretty good in too.
That was a good one, but that's it. I just think that you could build the anticipation. Like it's only 2 months away or so. Why blow your load? Like everything doesn't have to be fast food, man. You could build that up. It doesn't have to have a title, but adding a title will be the
EJ,
icing on the cake.
this ain't just a regular WrestleMania. This is WrestleMania 40.
And
You
then if
do need to blow your load. You need to make this the biggest fucking. Punk is hurt. Brock is gone. Charlotte's on the injured list. You got a chance to get The Rock in here. You got all this shit with Vince going on. You need to make this the biggest WrestleMania ever.
but I just feel like when those two meet, because both of them are like larger than life, you're gonna need to give them time. If they're on this WrestleMania, they'll get 10 minutes max.
WrestleMania's 2 days. Why wouldn't they have time?
I just think they wouldn't give them that much time compared to
We
like
just
a
did a
Becky.
4.5 hour pay-per-view with 4 matches on it. Why wouldn't they have time?
Like, you may prove me wrong, but I don't know. I feel like they don't necessarily have to do it at this year's WrestleMania, but Bianca doesn't really have anything to do, so they probably will lean that way, but we'll see.
Bianca, Jade, and Nia, a triple threat match.
No, if you're gonna have them face each other, it's gonna be 1-on-1. I don't need to see Nia.
Or is it going to be Bianca and Jade as a tag team versus Nia and fucking Piper Niven?
Why Piper Niven?
Just get big meaty women slapping meat. Shit.
I mean,
Can you say that about women?
I don't think so.
I mean,
I don't
like
think that's PG in the words of truth.
Jade and Bianca are meaty, but like in a good meaty kind of way, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if you can't just jack Chelsea Green's partner like that.
Why not? Chelsea can go host it or something.
I mean, visually that wouldn't be bad. I don't see them doing that. I wouldn't be mad at that though, having Jade and Bianca tagging, and then something breaks down with their friendship throughout the year, and then they face each other next year. I'd be all for that. That's a good idea on your part to have them tag.
Before we get to the Royal Rumble, let's talk CM Punk.
Oh, brittle CM Punk.
I don't like the guy. I don't like to celebrate people getting hurt. So I'm not. But like, you know who CM Punk reminds me of?
Who's that?
Tony Romo.
Uh,
Remember Romo to end his career? He had everything figured out by then. Like 2014 was probably his best year. He could have won MVP that year. He finally figured out the defenses. He was 33, 34, 35 years old. Like when he come into his own, but he had taken such a beating the whole time he played for the Cowboys, his body just couldn't hold up. He got hurt every year for like 4 or 5 years in a row, to the point where he even got hurt in a preseason game where they don't even tackle all the way. Just a routine, mundane play. That's CM Punk now. Every time this guy wrestles, he gets hurt now. And I'm not laughing at him because he's hurt. I'm laughing at the absurdity of it. Like, we literally said on this show, like, he can't wrestle for too long or else he's gonna get hurt again. He hasn't been wrestling since he's been back because they want to have him around for wrestle. Like, we talked about this. And what happens? He goes out there for 21 minutes and gets hurt again. He's Tony Romo.
yeah, it's a good analogy. You know that Leonardo DiCaprio gif from me where he's in front of the TV pointing like that's AEW fans right now when he
Yep.
Punk got not to say karma, but it couldn't have been that easy of him just to break out of AEW and go right to main event WrestleMania. The wrestling guys were like, yeah, Cody did do it, but the wrestling guys were like, not quite that fast. But Cody didn't fight people on the way out.
That's true. Cody still hadn't told anybody why he left. He just left quietly and respectfully. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked to see Cody go back to AEW before it's all said and done.
I wouldn't be shocked at that necessarily either. It'd be like 5 years on the line, not anytime soon.
I actually think I'd be kind of disappointed if he didn't.
Well, I hate to be the negative person, but let's hope there is an AEW in 5 years. They need to get their TV attendance right. Not to say that's gonna go away, but that's not trending in a good way. But it seems like this is good with their pay-per-view attendance, and the ratings are solid. I was looking at the ratings the other day. I'm like, that's solid. So if they get the bag from the Warner now that the Netflix deal, so I think they'll be in good shape. But like you said, go ahead.
They'll probably get a streaming deal too from somebody.
Max, that seems like the perfect fit.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah. Cody, another run of AEW. When you add that, he got to go back. He got to finish that story. He banned himself from winning that world title.
Yeah. You talked about the wrestling gods. Like, they really didn't want to see Punk versus fucking Rollins. They were like, all right, let's tear Rollins MCL. And Rollins was like, no, but I'm good. Damn.
Well,
where that nigga Punk at? Let's get him.
He's old, man. I mean, like you said,
he's only like 37, 38.
Not Rollins. I'm talking about Punk.
Punk's like, what, 41?
No, he's like 10 years older than me. He's like 46 almost.
He ain't that fucking old.
We
watch a 65-year-old man with a
Still,
fucked up spinal cord go out there and jump off a goddamn balcony every other week.
how many times I gotta tell you this? Still, Sting is built different.
Built way different than Punk.
Sting is built different. Punk is like 45, 46 because he's 10 years older than me. So I mean,
45.
it
That's not
just
old though. He also took 10 years off, EJ.
yeah, but still, he's always. I don't know how he was because I didn't watch him his first WWE run, but since he's been back, he's been injury prone. Some people were just injury prone, and it's catching up with him because I think at AEW was the left tricep, now it's the right tricep.
God
Should have just
damn.
he should have just tore both at the same time. At least get it over with. But yeah, like I said, I don't like to see the guy hurt. He entertains me. That was a fiery speech he gave, and I like how they tied in the storyline. How they had Drew McIntyre getting him out the paint. Drew was cold as ice.
I'm gonna say this. I feel bad for Punk, even though I don't like him. Like the guy's been he's been trying to come back for like 3 years now, and he just keeps getting hurt. And so I feel bad for him. I didn't like the promo. Like, I feel like he was trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. Like, I'm draw attention to something else so y'all don't realize that I'm fucking frail. Like, let's talk about people with cancer and firefighters and shit. Like, what the fuck's that got to do with you tearing your tricep? Nothing.
he, it was a little bit too drawn out, but I get what he
Yeah.
was trying to do. He was trying to say that this ain't nothing, me tearing my tricep. There's other people that have much worse things happening to them. I'll be back. But he just did it in too long, a roundabout long way.
He could have said that, but he's like naming some guy. Guess what? If he wouldn't have tore his tricep on Saturday, we'd have never heard of that fucking guy. We'd have never known that his friend has cancer and that he hangs out with him during chemo. He'd have never brought that shit up. He waited till he got injured to bring that up. And I don't know. It was something I didn't like about it. I could just be a piece of shit that I think like that. Who knows? But to me, I didn't like it. I felt like he used somebody that he knows is going through cancer for a fucking promo, and that was weak to me. But Drew, Drew said, I prayed for this, and it happened. Drew said, I couldn't sleep all night Saturday when I lost the Royal Rumble. But when I heard you tore your tricep, I slept like a motherfucking baby. This is the first time I've been in the Drew since TNA.
He was cooking. It's Drew Galloway. Yeah, I mean, I've been like lukewarm on this Drew, even though he's been a heel, but he's been a heel with purpose. Like everything that he's done has been justified. But yesterday he popped me good. I'm like, this is the best I've seen him since his heel turn. he said, yeah, I prayed for this, and then stomped his tricep, and then how they zoomed in on him, he was just like he had his head in the lower rope looking in with that.
Yeah.
That's what got me. I'm like, man, this man.
Yeah, I tweeted that.
It's cold as ice. So yeah, he got me on that. So if they don't go and do Cody and Seth, do you think they go Cody and Gunther, or you think they just finally just say Drew just go and cook?
I don't know. We've been talking in circles about it. Like, there's so many ways they can go, and again, that's why I like it. I like that we got this conversation going. But at the end of the day, it'll probably end up just being Cody and Roman, and then Seth and fucking
Gunther.
Yeah, but Gunther's got the Intercontinental title, so you're not gonna have an Intercontinental champion.
Didn't Warrior have it facing Terry?
Yeah, but this is a new wrestle. This is WrestleMania 40. You're not gonna have an Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania?
Nah, not if you could get Gunther in it, since we think Brock messed that up.
I think you're gonna end up with Drew versus Rollins.
I think so too, and I think Rollins is gonna do the match, and then he's gonna go in fully heel. I mean, yeah, like Drew finally gets his moment, even though he's gonna be doing it as a heel. So that just seems like it kind of defeats the purpose, because people are like, he needs to do it in front of a crowd, but he's gonna be heel. So what does it even matter?
I'm still sick of like hearing that. Like, Drew got screwed over by COVID.
We all
Everybody
did.
was wrestling during COVID. Like, I didn't hear. I said it a million times. I didn't see Sasha, Bailey, Asuka, and Kairi Sane having a fucking issue getting over during COVID. They carried that damn company.
I mean, he got over, but he didn't have to do. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't like. Why y'all bitching? Like everybody had to go through that, but he had his chance. He did a good job. Why doesn't he do it in front of a crowd?
Because by the time the crowd came back, Lashley was whooping his ass.
That was good stuff. Put the belt back on Lashley. Drive Lashley to Raw. Let him get that world title. He needs that.
Lashley could be the one to beat Roman.
In a perfect world, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if that happened. I don't know. Does Triple H like Lashley? I think definitely Lashley is a Vince guy. Look at the vascular definition on the guy.
I mean, I don't think he can not like him. Like, you hear the reaction? Like, he was just back there getting his Royal Rumble number and people were chanting his name on SmackDown. Like, you don't hear that a lot with people.
Yeah.
Lashley's over as fuck for some reason. And like, I get it because I've always liked him, but I'm still shocked sometimes at how over he actually is.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and it's like a kind of like a slow burn thing. I think that's why you gotta let things cook because back when he was doing the Lana stuff and when he first came back with the headband and stuff and flexing, people weren't really messing with him like that. Then when MVP got in the mix, COVID happened, and Almighty coming out with dong dong dong. I think people finally caught on. It took a while, but like you said, he's over. And what's a shame is I feel like the Street Profits are just in the background, and we all want to see Montez, man. We all know what Tez could do, and he's just kind of lingering.
Yeah.
I want to see Tez cook, man.
We'll see. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble, and then we got a couple questions, and we'll get the hell up out of here. We don't have to talk about the other matches. Actually, yeah, we do. The Universal title match. You said something earlier that I didn't really like. You said Roman wins cheating again. And I disagree.
I mean,
it was a fatal 4-way. Before Solo got involved, your boy AJ Styles had a chair in the ring, knocking the shit out of everybody with it. Randy Orton was gouging people in the eyes and shit like that, cheating. I think LA Knight did something too. So like, it's a fatal 4-way match. Everybody else is breaking the rules. We expect Roman not to break the rules.
I get it. I'm gonna go off the path a little bit because I never understood this. In triple threat and fatal 4-ways, why is it no disqualifications? I get it because if somebody gets qualified, then the match is over. But
well, who wins?
Like, I'm getting into there. Well, why not kick the person if you get disqualified? Why don't you get eliminated from the match? That seems like
it makes it easier to just say it's no DQ and then people can cheat.
Exactly. You just have it for the cheap. It more sense just to say you're kicked out of the match and you're from the match. So, but that makes too much sense. But I digress. Yeah, you got a point. Other people were cheating, but why not have Roman just do those tactics? Why you gotta do the Solo coming out again?
Well, I don't like Solo always got that fucking hood on. Like, and then he reveals himself like, we supposed to be like, oh shit, oh, no. It's Solo. Like, nigga, we know that was you.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody else walking out there barefoot with a fucking hood on and a tape on their damn thumb. Like, damn, I don't know who this is gonna be. I can't wait for him to take his hood off.
Pull his hood off and Jacob Fatu, that would have shocked you.
When Roman did win, though, he won fair and square. Like, he just won with wrestling moves. He didn't cheat to actually win.
And that's what I'm saying, because I was gonna say, like, this what we talked about earlier, and I said he had to cheat, but technically he didn't because he ended up winning by himself. Why even put the Solo thing in there?
Yeah, they should have got Paul Heyman to do. How come Paul Heyman never like interferes?
That dude ain't gonna be doing shit except for
talking. He's just fucking there.
He got his ass whooped at that SummerSlam we went to and was off TV for like months. That was funny.
Yeah. The women's Royal Rumble I thought was the match of the night.
Oh, definitely.
I love the women's Royal Rumble. It was just so much good shit in there. Liv Morgan coming back. I actually thought she was gonna win.
I'm sorry, man. What do you see in Liv Morgan?
Well, first off, she's fine.
I'm talking about wrestling besides her look.
I don't know. She's like an underdog. I like the underdog. She's she's like the 2024 version of Becky before Becky became the man. You know, she tries really hard, never quite gets there. She finally got a title match. I don't know. It's just something about her makes me cheer for her. And she's hot as shit.
She got like a slight pop when she cashed in, but then her title reign was like a fart going over in church.
I don't
Nobody,
know. We saw her at SummerSlam beat Ronda Rousey fair and square.
and that went over like a fart in church. Nobody really cared. I
It was
mean,
Ronda Rousey.
that's true. But I don't know. I always give people a chance to win me over. Even with Grayson Waller, how everybody knows I hate. If he reinvents himself and does something that entertains me, I'll change my mind on him. It's just like you said, it's the same old underdog story with Liv. Give me something.
She
Thomas
did
Tony,
reinvent herself. She used to be in the Riot Squad.
what's
She went from being the third member of the, remember, she was the third member of the Riot Squad. And now she's the only one that's been a champion. She won Money in the Bank. She has reinvented herself. She teamed up with Rhea. She was doing like a little dark makeup. She was doing the lesbian shit with Lana for a while. Like, she hasn't been the same Liv the whole time.
well, whatever she's doing, it still ain't hitting like that. Everybody has to start with like a crew. Like then Sasha have like Team Bad or something, even though I wasn't really watching back then.
Yeah.
Everybody starts off with a crew.
Becky and Paige and Charlotte were
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's changed it up a little bit, but like, even though I like Tony even before Thomas Tony, but do something out of the box. Like Thomas Tony is like my favorite woman's character right now.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna argue with you on that one. The women's match was good. I love Jade getting her shine. I love and this is one of the reasons I like Becky. Becky's not afraid to like try to get other people over. And there's two instances that I can point out in this. One, she has to agree to let Jade like pick her up and pose with her and shit like that over her head, make her look like a little bitch. And two, when Jade threw Nia out and they panned the camera over and Becky was like, her jaw was on the ground, like that's the type of little shit that makes Jade look like a bigger deal.
Yeah,
I would never see Charlotte doing no shit like that for anybody.
of course not. But we don't have to bring her into this because she's
Right.
off the
I'm
shelf.
just comparing because I think those are the two biggest women stars in WWE. But I think Becky's like secure with her spot as the man.
Yeah.
To where she's like, yeah, let's fucking get Jade fucking over as I can in this match.
Becky certified. She has nothing to worry about. You said Becky, the biggest star. Uh, no disagreement on that. Who's the other one you talking about as the biggest star?
They want it to be Charlotte.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you that they
Yeah.
want it to be, but what she have besides the woo? People don't mess with her like that. But I get what you're saying. They try to position her as the second biggest star, but I
They
don't
try to
know.
position her as the first biggest star, but
I don't
the
know.
crowd ain't hearing that shit.
I think mommy might have her at
She's
this
getting
point.
there. Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, the little things that Becky does is why she's the best woman, I think, in the company. Just the little facial expressions like that, just little things to get the other person over. She went back down to NXT, got those girls over. Tiffy Time came out in the Royal Rumble. People seemed to like that. It wasn't like a huge pop, but people knew who she was.
Yeah. They knew who she was because of that.
Yeah, Roxy came down. I think Roxy was there last year too, but yeah, it's just the perfect storm for that women's match. Like you said, it was the best match of the night.
You remember who eliminated Jade?
It was Liv. But that shouldn't have been. I don't think that should have happened. I think Jade should have eliminated Liv. It don't even make no damn sense if Jade eliminated Nia, but can't eliminate 110 pound, 100 pounds exactly.
Liv was giving her that footwork. She ain't had no chance.
I went back and watched it. She didn't do it. Like she didn't like throw her off the top rope. They did like the little.
No, she did her move. She did her move to her.
Yeah,
She
she
hit
did like
the
a little move or whatever. I guess. Uh, give me something, Liv. Like I don't want to not like you, but I need something to grab and get a hold of with her.
if Liv could hear you now, she'd just say, watch me.
Okay. I'm watching. I'm watching.
She had what her titty said, like cry about it or something
Really?
like that on it. Yeah, that's what her thing said. not her titties, but like her shirt covering her. First off, and wardrobe. Shout out to JD Hoop.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
boy, his designs were all over the Royal Rumble. Jade,
Yep.
Cody, LA Knight, Lashley.
How did he make his way into the business like that? That's dope.
He was designing t-shirts and shit, and then he designed I want to think the Street Profits were the first, like he designed the Street Profits when they were in Nashville. He did, I think that was his first break. He designed when they came out with the Tennessee Titans gear on.
Mhm.
He designed that.
Did he like reach out to them or did they reach out to
I
him?
I didn't ask. I don't like I know, wrestlers would be like, I need a design for a shirt, and people would tag who they thought would be good at it. And he was doing a couple designs for wrestlers, and then I think he just kind of like it went from there. And I think eventually somebody said, "Can you do this?" And it's not just him, it's like it's a couple other people, they all work together and do, but shout out to them.
Sure.
One of the people here said Lashley came out looking like the White Ranger, and then he took his fucking jacket off and he was all muscular, and the other guy was like, "No, he looked like the motherfucker when the Power Rangers like all combined. He like a
Yeah.
fucking Megazord."
Like a Megazord, yeah.
I thought that was funny. But yeah, shout out to JD Hoop. The women's Royal Rumble was good. Like I don't like the winner, but I was entertained throughout the women's Royal Rumble. I feel like the men's Royal Rumble just, I don't know if it was because the show was so long or what. It was like the crowd died and it just drug the fuck on. Like, thankfully our truth was there.
He came out at 24 at the woman on accident and then came out of his right position. And, little comedic relief.
Yeah.
I'm mad at that. But yeah, the men's rumble kind of fell flat and we kind of knew who were going to win. And like we talked about on the previous show, I think we all got spoiled in like the early 2000s where they made surprises, a feature of it. But I mean, recently they've been just trying to focus on what they have in house. But I think sprinkling a few surprises in there is not a bad thing, and we didn't get that this year, which was kind of a bummer.
Yeah. We got a couple questions that came in, then we'll get up out of here. We'll talk about the NFL next week's show. Kayfabe Chronicles in the Discord says, with all the Punk's injuries since his return, is it wise for him to continue? I know the passion is there, but you got to think long-term health and stability. And he's already said he's going to come back, but I think in his mind, he owes the WWE to try one more time. But I think also in his mind, I got hurt 3 times in AEW and 1 time here in the past 2.5 years. Like, I'm done. But I think in his mind, he owes it to WWE fans and the WWE to give it one more shot to try to stay healthy. But I think if he comes back and he gets hurt again, I think that's it, man. Just hang it up.
Yeah, if he gets hurt again, stars just won't align in your favor. But this is like an apple and oranges comparison, and he's a lot older. But Steph Curry, his first like 4 seasons, this man could not stay in the court. Everybody was like getting ready to give him the D Rose treatment, ankle injuries. And around 2013, 2014, all of a sudden the ankle injuries just disappeared. So maybe if Punk, he has the WWE probably has the best doctors. Maybe if he rehabs it the right way and gets himself trained the right way, maybe he could get right and maybe prevent some of these injuries in the future. But his track history said that's not gonna happen. But he's definitely got to give it one more try. You can't go out like that. So I think we'll see him probably by SummerSlam.
Scully in the Discord says, where does Cody's story go since Seth and his promo last night on Raw? We've been trying to figure that shit out all night, Scully. I think we both landed on it still going to Roman. But I'd much rather see him and Seth again and Roman and Rock.
Hey, I'm sticking with what I've been saying the past few months. It's gonna be Roman and Cody. I don't know if I want to see Cody and Seth. I mean, Cody and Roman is cool, I guess, and I think that's what we'll see.
Well, EJ, we've covered all of it. Um, we went over everything we were supposed to, including the Royal Rumble.
Well,
And
before we get on out of here, though, new change with the Raw commentary table. We got Pat McAfee back on there. Looks like he's full time, I guess, until college football season. What do you think about that?
I don't really care. He
Really?
was, I think he was cool when he first got there and all the dancing around and shit and enthusiasm, but like, I don't really care anymore.
Hmm.
And now you got Corey Graves and Wade Barrett on SmackDown.
Oh, that's
And I
what they
feel like,
announced?
yeah, and I feel like I don't want to sit here and sound like one of those people that think they know more than what they know, but I feel like one of them needs a play-by-play guy.
Yeah, what the I didn't you like breaking that news to me. They got two color guys.
Mhm.
That's not gonna work.
I mean, I'm sure Graves could do it. Like he's been under Michael Cole's learning tree for the longest, but I tell you what, he ain't gonna be yelling at Wade Barrett the way he be yelling at everybody else. Wade Barrett slap the shit out of Corey Graves. I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Man, you're breaking that news to me. Now I really don't like it now that I thought Cole was gonna be on SmackDown still. Um
Cole needs
like
a break, man.
it's true. He's been in that for a while. Pat McAfee, I liked his first SmackDown run, but I think now that he's been doing more stuff with ESPN and he hasn't really been with WWE TV, I think it's gonna take him a little bit, not a long time, but it's gonna take him a little bit of time to get, situated back with the what's going on because I feel like he was kind of a little bit out of the loop. So it's gonna take him a
Yeah.
little bit to get back into the product. But once he gets going, we know what he could do. I like his energy, but you threw me for a loop. I didn't know it was gonna be Corey and Wade. And then we know that Pat is not Pat. Yeah, Pat's probably gonna leave back with college football season. I just like stability.
Well, I mean, they didn't say until football season. They said Pat's back full time now.
But we know he's not gonna be able to do college game day and WWE.
Why not? College game day's on Saturday.
That's why he left though. It's because he was doing college game day.
I think
I
he
guess the
left for the
preparation.
podcast and all that. What is he preparing for?
They got to be like in the cities at a certain time and do the interviews. So
That's what Reese Davis is there for.
yeah,
Joey Galloway and fucking Desmond Howard.
I'm still a Kurt Fowler guy over Reese Davis, but I digress. But yeah, I like stability. You know who I like? It might be my bias because I'm an MMA fan. I thought Jimmy Smith did a good job. I don't even know why they got. I think it was a Vince thing to get rid of him or whatever.
I wasn't really a fan of Jimmy Smith. I liked who was the last guy they had? The Irish guy. I didn't have a problem with him.
Nah, it wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, because Corey Graves is always fucking trying to embarrass him and shit. Like, let the guy cook.
Yeah, he's okay. But I mean, I'll give
What's my
Wade.
man's name on NXT with Booker T? He's good.
I like Vic Joseph.
Yeah, Vic Joseph is real good.
He was on Raw for a while, and they demoted him, I guess. Even though he's still on national TV. Yeah, I wouldn't have mind seeing Vic Joseph come back. They should have brought him back.
Maybe we need to get a woman again.
Yeah, I like. I didn't like Renee, but I like Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix was all right.
I thought Beth Phoenix.
Honestly, I thought Renee got way better towards the end, and I think she ended up being better than Beth Phoenix.
You may have been paying more attention because I did not really like Renee on there. I love her in AEW.
Renee at the beginning. I wasn't feeling her at all. I bet you know who I think would be good?
Who's that?
Serena Deeb.
Yeah.
I think she's got a good voice. I think she's clearly knowledgeable as hell when it comes to like wrestling. I think she'd make a good commentator.
Me too, but I think she still got some more in the tank as far as wrestling.
They tried to make my girl Mickey a commentator a few years ago on Main Event.
I think she could do it too.
She was decent at it. She was still learning, but she was decent at it.
I just didn't like Renee at it, but you're saying she got better, so maybe I need to go back and check some of that stuff towards the end of her run.
Yeah. Well, shit, EJ, I'm all tapped out, brother.
That's all I got on my end, man.
Shout out to everybody that's either watching us on YouTube or followed us over on audio. All the chatter that's going on Twitter with us, following us on social medias. We appreciate all of it. Tell your friends about it. Leave some comments. Leave some ratings. You got anything you want to add, EJ?
Yeah, let me add on to that because if you go back and look at our old feed for Boot to the Face, it's still got like the older podcast. You gotta search and find our new feed with the Podbean. So make sure y'all do that. And then, like always, subscribe and like on YouTube. We're trying to get our numbers up, people. Spread the word.
As far as our new audio feeds, just check our link tree out, which is in every form of social media that we're on has our link tree on there. And the top 3 podcast links are on there: Spotify, Podbean, and I think there's another one. So if you need to find it that way, just go to our link tree. It is there. Our Discord is there. Our merch store is there. Our YouTube is there. Everything Boot to the Face is on that link tree. So check that out.
For sure.
Well, for EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been another episode of Boot to the Face. Until next week, peace.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude.